Right, let's see if this works at all. Ah, there we go. Even the little camera thing appears to be working. And I'll need to do this rather quickly because I'm not sure how long this computer will stay on because it's been crashing a lot. But alas, let's get to the point, which is, well, this folder. So, as you may or may have heard, there was a little flood in, well, some parts of Germany and also bits of Belgium and the Netherlands. And yeah, we were affected too, because my hometown is Bad Münstereifel, and I shall now just, show you a little, few things about it, and you'll see for yourself. Currently I'm not there because I don't have a computer there, but I'm in Bonn, but we'll get to what is kind of annoying about this current situation as well in just a little bit. So, let's see. Yes, I guess this is one of the earliest photos, which my dad took. And, yeah, the water shouldn't be there because we had some very heavy rainfall in the past days leading up to the was it the 14th or the 15th? Oh, it was a um, for some reason I can't move it out of the way. Anyway, doesn't matter. We'll just do this real quick. There we had heavy rainfall, so the ground was saturated and the water had nowhere to go but down. And soon enough, the streets, well, not just the streets, but first of all, well, the river called Erft goes through my hometown. Here's where it should be, but here it's also already very high and should be about 2 meters or even more lower than this. But yeah, it kept on rising, and that's how this came to be as well. This is a completely different street as to where the other photo was taken, so there should be no water anywhere near here. Um, this goes to show, I mean, you can see the car right there already turning around because they saw it and were like, nope, not gonna go down there. And yeah, it got a whole lot worse. For example, if you look at this, but yeah, even that is a small thing. I don't know what the stupid pop-up now was. Don't really care, to be honest. Um, but yeah, so that's that. And let's see if I've got any more photos of how it was rising. Well, this is certainly the highest level it got to, and that's rather concerning, if I'm honest. So yeah, that's the ground floor, and it's pretty much completely flooded on all the houses here. And well, the water obviously had a lot of power, and it just carried cars and construction containers and whatnot just straight through the city gate. There's another photo of it rising in our cellar, but obviously the cellar got flooded completely and so did the ground floor, so it's just a prelude, so to say. Here's another photo. Not really what you want to see. Now, let's see, I guess we'll just go through random photos of the aftermath. This is not Bad Münstereifel, this is a village nearby, I don't know what it is. But yeah, it just goes to show how it just demolishes everything. This is also pretty interesting. So this is one of the bridges on the city walls, and the F passes through here. You can see it right down there, if you can see my cursor. And well, first of all, this bridge should have, well, should be laid with cobblestones, I think. But yeah, those are gone, and there should also be rails here, or railing, whatever it's called precisely, I don't really remember. And yeah, there shouldn't be a hole here or down there either. So yeah, got pretty messed up. And what's interesting is that this statue, which, well, I think it's medieval, uh, is still standing, and it's of the Saint Nepomuk, whatever it's called in English, and it's someone who is kind of the saint of bridges. So, funnily enough, he's still standing, even though everything else is pretty ruined. Now, there's another video. So, not the highest level, it would rise about 1.5 meters higher than this. Probably more, actually. Just goes to show. And, oh yeah, this is also pretty interesting. So, obviously, right as it was over, the news reporters came in, and, well, most of them did their usual things according to the quality of their medium. So, the Boulevard press obviously asked those sorts of questions and interviewed those sorts of people. And let me just... let's see if this still... there we go. Yeah, just wanted to make sure I don't lose progress on this video while my PC crashes. But yeah, the news reporters did what they did. And, well, this is a film crew from RTL, which is a pretty trashy TV program. And, yeah, let me just show you what they did. So this is the moderator right there. And look what she's doing just before they're starting their show. Just, you know, get some mud, wipe it all over yourself to look like you actually did something. But obviously you didn't, because you're just a waste of oxygen. Especially if you work for your trash company. Just standing there. Good. Okay. And obviously the production crew doesn't care either. So that made a pretty big scandal, and rightfully so, because that is just despicable. Especially for people like, well, myself as well, who are affected by this, to just see someone not doing a whole lot and pretending to... Well, actually, they were insinuated as a hero and a helper and whatnot, but they did fuck all, if we're honest here. So we have that photo. So this is Iversheim. This is a village not too far from, well, it's next to Münstereifel. And yeah, you can see how it looks here. There used to be a house here, now there isn't. And well, at least the street is still there, which is not something we can say about Münstereifel. So this, for example, is the train station and the bus stop of Münstereifel, and well, got messed up a bit. And I mean, you can see the street crossing sign thing, whatever you call. I always forget what words are when I'm recording this, but anyway, that's just a meme I made. Let's see what we had that video already. That's okay. Yeah, there's some more photos of the aftermath. Probably pull up Google Maps. Yeah, let's just do what I think that's useful. Just so you know where we are and where certain photos were taken. So, let's go here. Now, with this photo right here, which was taken right here. You can see the well, the fountain. It would be right here. And yeah, I think you can see how it looks now. It's a bit different. It's just my dad, who we'll get to in a bit, because some other things we need to talk about. It's also my dad. Some more funny videos of this all. That's so yeah, let me now talk about my part of the story, and what also was kind of annoying, which is that on Thursday, so the flood was on the night from Wednesday to Thursday, the 15th, and yeah, on Thursday morning I wanted to go to work, and I also wanted to help out in Münstereifel, of course. And so I had the great idea to, well, drive there, but I didn't get very far. And, well, to cut a long story short, I ruined my car. I can actually see it here, after it got pulled to a scrapyard, because the engine was just, yeah, you can't save it. It didn't turn anymore, it didn't turn over, literally nothing happened. I was stuck there for 6 hours, waiting for a tow truck to come, which never came. And then I just hitchhiked back home to Bonn. And yeah, you can see the front number plate is missing. That's because I wanted to, well, obviously drive to work, but all the streets were closed down, so I had the great idea of driving down a, whatever Feldweg is in English, like a path that just leads to fields and stuff. Farm track or something, I don't know. Which was also flooded at one point, and I was like, it can't be that deep, I'll just drive through it. And well, it was too deep for the car, and it stopped pretty much bang on in the middle. And there I was, sitting in some nice water, and the only sound I heard was the sound of water coming into my car. So I got out and pushed my car out of the water and tried everything I could to start it again, but nothing worked. And yeah, I also had some people help and see if they could do anything, but unfortunately they couldn't. And yeah, that was it for that car, and also me trying to get there on Thursday. So that didn't work, but I got there on Friday evening, because the journey with public transport only goes to Euskirchen, which is still like 15 kilometers or so away from Münstereifel. And well, to get to Euskirchen it even took 2 hours, because you only could use some replacement transport buses and stuff, and it was rather tedious and it took very long. But yeah, this is a video I took on Saturday morning, when I first had a look at the town, because before that, well, it was already dark, so there was no point in walking around. So yeah, see for yourself. There should be a road there, but there isn't, and I'm standing on a huge pile of debris, which pretty much is all that used to be in the, wait, let me show you. Orchheimer Straße, which is this street right here, and we are standing right, yeah, right about here. So yeah, pretty much all the pavement and the stones and everything went all the way down here and piled up right here. Again, so you see, it's just bits of canals and stuff just laying around. Because they all just got flushed down there. And trees, and well, there weren't that many car wrecks in the city itself, because they all got flushed through the city gate. So there's that at least. But yeah, I mean, the entire street just got removed right up until here. You can actually see the usual level of the street. You can see how deep it goes down there. So yeah, there's that. And that's our shop, which is something we'll get to now. And also the main reason I did this video. So, I don't know, some people may know, but probably not that many, that, well, my family owns a hat shop, which you can see here, and we've had this shop since 1919, where my great-grandmother actually opened it. And yeah, we've had this shop ever since, and you can see the way the shop looks. It's obviously older style, and yeah, it's a bit of a mess. Let's put it mildly. You can see a bunch of the hats and stuff just piled here, because obviously they all got drenched and were, you know, just good for scrap. And yeah, I mean, the whole whatever, Schaufenster, Jesus, I always forget every word whenever I do these sorts of videos. yeah, anyway, they just got completely destroyed, as you can see, and everything that was in there. Um, yeah, yeah, that's just all the stuff out of the shop itself. We also have storage, which is in the cellar, which was obviously completely flooded. So yeah, even as we started cleaning up the just another little well, I'll just cut these out, what's the point. So yeah, the plaster was already coming off the walls, as you can see, without us even doing anything, and because it's obviously all just completely wet beneath that, and we had to get it off anyway, because the wood you can see here was going to start developing some mold, which is not something you really want. So yeah, that's just how it looked on. Yeah, it's also on Saturday morning, and yeah, that's the old kitchen, which can we see? Is that? I think that's just a shadow, but it could also be how high the water was. Well, it looks about right, so that could actually be the case. So yeah, that's how high we had the water in the ground floor. Right, and that's steps down to the cellar. As you can see, it's all just covered in mud, and everything is a mess because it all just floated around. You can see down there, you can't really walk down these stairs because it's all full with crap. And we can't see it from here, but yeah, the entire electrical system was also underwater, so that all has to be replaced, which won't be cheap. And that's just another room which was flooded completely. Well, there used to be a lot of instruments there, like a drum set and lots of amps and speakers and a keyboard and a lot of guitars, and well, you can see what happened. Yeah, that's the first, no, not the first, on Saturday we had a lot of help from volunteers, and I did take photos with 2 of those groups, and yeah, that's group 2 of them, well, those, I guess. These guys actually came all the way from Munich just to help, which is just insane, and they did some tremendous work. We just got so much help with these 2 groups of people that helped us. We managed to remove all the crap from the cellar, which was a lot. That's why I've got that lamp on, because we didn't have much lighting down there, of course, because there was no power, and we didn't have a generator or anything like that there, so we had to rely on, well, phone lights. And fun thing about this light is actually I found this in the street just covered in mud and probably thrown out. I was like, hey, I can maybe get this to work. So I cleaned it up in one of our garbage cans, because somehow it managed to first get afloat in all the water and then fill with water and get down again and, well, just be filled with water, and, well, could use it to wash your hands, even though it wasn't very hygienic. It's the best we had, and I used that also to clean this light up, and it actually worked somewhat, and it was a lot of help to have it to actually see things. But yeah, that's group 2. Another view. Yeah, we also had help from some people that were there because Bad Münstereifel has an outlet, and they were there to barricade all the outlet shops, but they were kind enough to also help us to barricade our shops, so we wouldn't have to fear thieves at night, because there were already some shops that were looted right after the flood, so obviously everyone was pretty scared, understandably so. But yeah, I mean, the scum that lurches when there was a flood and then people go and loot things is just lowest of the low. And yeah, that's the shop opposite to us, and you can see where, well, there should be a street there, but there isn't really. It just goes down, and that's just some bit of pavement that just ended up there. It should be there actually. Yeah, that's the first group that helped us. As you can see, there wasn't quite as covered in mud as right there. See, it's a bit more, but still quite something. They were actually pretty local, and they were very nice as well. They helped a lot. And yeah, that's my car again. Or was my car. I think now it's been squished and doesn't really exist anymore. I don't know when we took this photo. I think it was about half a week later-ish, when we already got to removing most of the rendering and stuff from the walls, and also some of the walls themselves also came down, as you can see. So yeah, there's also a hole on the wall where you can stick your head through and look into the basement of the neighbors, which is pretty interesting. That's the other wall where there should be, you know, display cabinets and that sort of thing, but we had to rip that all out, of course. And it was kind of like a time capsule behind that, because the walls well, didn't really see the light of day for the past 100 years. Well, a little less probably, but you get the idea. Yeah, and we also had to get all the other walls kind of free so they could dry. And I also found an old piece of medieval pottery in the rendering of the walls, which is interesting. It's not as old as the house. Well, no, yeah, it's older than the house. There we go. Which was probably built sometime in the 17th century, as most houses in Münstereifel were built around that time. Yeah, just another view from Münstereifel. I have to think, when did I take this picture? I think it was a week later, so about a week after the incident. As you can see, we actually had a street then again, so they could transport all the crap out of the town, which was just tremendous amounts, because some people actually had 2-story cellars, so twice the work for them. And oh yeah, there's another photo of the hole in the wall. And here's also a quick little video. I think, what was it called? Here again though. Right, time for a little walk around. So you can just hear work in the background, engines running and all that. Yeah, that's, I think, how it looked a bit over a week ago. Yeah, around about that. Yeah, you can see where you had to rip it all out so it could dry. There used to be, well, walls. But yeah, those will need to be replaced. Up into the next room, which is also pretty interesting. And how they tried to make the wall straight, they just hacked away at the beams and literally just removed half of it. You can see it here, that's the actual surface, and that's how much they just took off. Which is, you know, not something you should really do, but that's what they did about 100 years ago for some reason. Some more insights into how it looks. So up the stairs, which also, right up until there, they were flooded. Onto the next rooms. As you can see, we ripped out the carpet and everything so it could dry. But we still got some problems with mold, of course, because there's still places where there isn't really much air getting to it. And now, down here, you can see the stairs are not quite as muddy anymore. Yeah, that's the only thing we had to dry it, because we personally don't have any equipment, and we at least got that from the city. I mean, we did have a lot of goods that we could just use. Just, yeah. Just had to go to the town hall and get them, like gloves and rubber boots and tools and all that sort of stuff, which was obviously very helpful. Otherwise we just wouldn't have anything. I mean, luckily I did go to the our garden, which was just completely destroyed because it's next to the river, and there was pretty much nothing left apart from one hut. And luckily in that I found 2 shovels, because otherwise we just wouldn't have any tools. Yeah, that's how the shop looked at, well, hour 0, so to say. This shouldn't be lying like this, it should be standing upright next to the wall, but yeah, you can see what happened. It just got lifted up by the water and laid on its side, and yeah, it's just full of mud, just mud everywhere. So we've already had that. Oh, well, this is also interesting. Let me show you what this even is. This is right here. Yes, this is right here. So it's one of the main streets, or like the main street to even get to Münstereifel. And well, needless to say, it's a bit messed up, the bridge, because you can see the aft runs straight beneath it. It was completely torn away, and so the street was just impassable. There was no way you could get over here. Let's see what else we've got here. That's my dad again in the side. My dad currently still runs the shop. This is also pretty interesting. So I found this in the cellar. It's the old shop sign from my grandma, and this is the even older shop sign from, well, my grandma's parents, so my great-grandparents. So yeah, it's an old enamel sign, and you can see it's pretty old school. It does look pretty cool. This is Arlof, which is this village right here, and the photo was taken right here. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Just the street is gone completely. Yeah, this I think was on. Yeah, since we've got a street here, it's gotta be about a week ago. Well, a bit more than a week. See, most of the crap has already been taken out of the city, which is just really nice to see. And they actually, well, the street was already gone, well, around our house, but back here it was even more gone. There you could just see bits of the canal that were just flushed away, and there was just nothing, and just pools of water, and you really just couldn't get there. But yeah, they made a way there so they could actually transport all the crap out. So it's nice to see. It's also one of the earliest photos that were taken when there was, this car right here was still standing there when I got there, even a week ago when they got there again. But yeah, they did transport this one away. It's an aerial shot from I think it was Thursday morning-ish, and you can see how a lot of areas are still underwater, like this roundabout here and the Aldi, and right here our garden is actually situated right here. No, wait, right there-ish. And you can see it just straight in the line of fire, so to say. And yeah, there's not much left of it, besides the fact that it always gets looted in the winter anyway. So we don't have many things there anyway to begin with. Was that the last photo? Seems like it. No. Oh, see, this is interesting too. So back in the day they often used old newspapers as backings for putting wallpapers on. and so did they do here, and that's a newspaper. Well, one of the newspapers had the date, I think it was 17th of January 1937, and this is probably also 1937, but it says 30th of March here. And well, it's talking about how Japan is invading Manchukuo. So that's pretty interesting. Diese Artillerie und Tanks an der something. And yeah, Tokyo here, 30th of March. Ostasiendienst des Deutschen Nachrichtenbundes, so East Asia Department of the German News Agency. Yeah, something like that. That's that. Then photos of the walls. It's a different place. Oh, this is also interesting. So this is in Rheinbach. Let me show you where Rheinbach is. Right here. So Münstereifel is here. Rheinbach is there. I'm currently in Bonn, which wasn't really affected by the floods luckily. But yeah, obviously all the cellars were flooded, and this is just makes it a bit more quiet. So that's one of the garbage disposal yards that are just everywhere because there's just insane amounts of waste currently. Because obviously everyone needs to throw their crap out, and it's not really imaginable how much it is. It's just insane. Yeah, what the person here is saying, this is just one of the yards in Rheinbach even. There's even more just for this one city. I mean, it is a bigger city, so it makes sense. Now, probably what you've also seen is I've shot Blessem because no, I don't want to look at maps actually. Images. There we go. Because there is a gravel mine pit, whatever, which also got filled with water, and you can see just huge amounts of the village were just washed into there. Complete houses and everything, as you can see here. So yeah, they were hit pretty bad as well. So much so that actually all the water from the aft just all got into the gravel pit thing, and none of it was actually flowing any further than that. So for them, it just got even worse after the flood. So that's also interesting. And another thing is, which is worthy of mention, is the Steinbach-Talsperre, because it was in danger of being of breaking. As you can see here, it's been pretty heavily damaged because it's only fortified against water, so to say, on one end, so it has asphalt there, but it doesn't on the other side, so it just all got washed away. And thanks to two very, certainly heroes, they managed to rescue it, because there was one guy named Hubert Schilles, which has a some excavation company sort of thing, so they have excavators and that sort of stuff, and he was tasked with trying to dig free one of the main drain pipe, I guess, of this huge dam, and he did it, and so they could let out all the water. As you can see here, it's getting less and less. And there was also a Mr. Lorenz, which he also mentioned, who was in the sort of shaft that is in this big dam, and he was the one that opened the floodgates, and by hand, because usually they're electrically operated, but that obviously wasn't doable because there was no power, and he actually opened it and So with the work of these two people, they managed to save a few villages which were already evacuated because they were obviously endangered, because you see, here's the Steinbach-Talsperre, and you can see it's relatively big, and if it had burst, it would have obviously let's see, well, there's Schweinheim. That's the nearest village that would have been affected, because there's still a valley here, so this is on a hill, so it wouldn't have been affected, Kirchheim. And yeah, this would have just been completely destroyed, because with all the force that's behind this much water, yeah, good luck. And also Flamersheim right here, and Halmersheim were also evacuated, and yeah, Bodendorf as well. But luckily they only got the normal flood and not the huge tsunami that would have come. Right. Going back to Bad Münstereifel. That's interesting how it all says temporarily closed. I wonder why. Well, it actually doesn't say that our shop is closed. Oh no, it does here. No, that's because it's past 6, but yeah. We don't really have any hats to sell at the moment because they all got flooded. But yeah, another thing that I want to show you is this, because we did actually open a Gofundme, because we are not insured for this sort of thing. In Germany you would need a Elementarversicherung, but we don't have that, and pretty much no one does. And so yeah, this is kind of, apart from the little bits of government help we'll get, the only sort of financial support we'll get to get the shop up and running again, because we do want to do that. So yeah, as of now we've already raised 4,815 euros, which is quite a lot. I didn't expect this much, which makes us just very happy. And you can see the here's the updates, because there's also one I did in English, so you can understand that as well. You can also see the photos here again, and yeah, that's for example how it looked on July 24th. See, it's looking better. But it could be still room for improvement. So yeah, I'll also put the link in the video description, of course, so you can check it out, just share it or something like that, because every bit helps. Let's see, is there anything else? No, there actually is. Oh, yeah, I also put the links to some other things in the description, because there was also an interview that an Israeli TV program did with my dad, which was about 4 minutes long. I'll also put the link to that in the video description, so you can check that out, though it's obviously in Hebrew, so yeah, there's that. But you can, well, if you understand German, you can at least understand my dad. Now let me think, is there anything else I wanted to mention? Oh yes, actually, well, apart from the fact that my car is wrecked, I obviously need new money to get a new car, which has already been organized actually, and I'm currently selling some of my helmets, so let's see how you can check out my Instagram actually for that, because I do have that in my story there, so you can just check that out. He actually just, it should work in theory. Let me see. Yeah, no, maybe. Well, guess not, because the story is already too old. But, how do I even get there? I really don't know. Yeah? No. How can I just have a look at that stupid profile? Ah, there we go. Right. So, and this one's already sold, so sorry about that. I'm also going to be selling this one, and this one, and an M35, which you can't see here. Might make another video about all of those as well. You can also find the GoFundMe link here. Can I now take a look at my things? No. Oh, I guess not. Well, that's just too bad. But yeah, that's that. And the other thing that is kind of annoying is that obviously in this time where everything is going wrong, well, first of all I had to write 5 exams, of which one I couldn't write because I went to Bonn again from Münstereifel on the, well, a fortnight ago, so to say, on Monday, because I had an exam in person Tuesday, and I got here and, well, guess what, my roommates had COVID, so well, still recording this from quarantine, and yeah, the quarantine only ends on next Monday because they have COVID, and so I got dragged into it as well. Couldn't take part in my exam, so that was a whole waste of time, and I just had to sit here and do nothing. And what's obviously all the better is when your PC starts to die. So yeah, that's, no wait, not this. Is there anything? Shouldn't see. No. Okay, that's good. But yeah, you can see it's already crashed because of, well, error 41 15 times, and often it doesn't really want to come back to life. So I need a new CPU, a new motherboard, and new RAM. So that'll be expensive too. I mean, to be fair, the CPU is from 2014, and it still has DDR3 RAM, and motherboard wasn't really the most expensive one. But luckily it seems to be running right now, since I can record this video without it dying, but it might just do that now. So without further ado, and I think this is already long enough, I'm going to end this video right here, and well, I hope you can't really say you enjoyed it, because it was just information and me trying to, well, show you how things have kind of gone to shit here. But anyway, hope you're doing better than we are currently. But if you also can, do share around that link, so we can hopefully get a little bit of help, because we can certainly use it right now. Otherwise we are pretty screwed, if I'm honest. So yeah, see you with hopefully a more positive video than this. I mean, I have to again thank for everyone that first of all supported us, and also all the volunteers that helped us, and just everything, and trying to get this, well, region back on track, because it's not just Münstereifel, it is quite literally, let's do it like this, it's better to see this entire region, quite up to down to there. But yeah, this is all affected. This was all flooded. See, there's Erftstadt. Here's here's Münstereifel. Everything that wasn't on the hill was flooded, and yeah, also Schuld was hit pretty bad. I'm sure you've seen it, because they also have the misfortune that the river A goes right around the village, so it just got flooded completely. Let me show you. But yeah, you can obviously take a look at some news reports. It's Erftstadt actually, this autobahn that was completely flooded. But yeah, you can see Schuld right here, how it's just a complete mess. Lots of houses were destroyed. You can see just the piles of debris stuck in the town, so you couldn't really get anywhere. Yeah, just absolutely insane. And that's also the region where the most people died, so I think we had like overall in Germany about 180 casualties. And a lot of them came from the villages around Schuld and also Schuld itself. For example, like Fuchshofen probably, and Insul, Dümpelfeld, Liers, it's all, well, following the R, so it's obviously all pretty messed up. But yeah, without further ado, I'll end this already very long video, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.